Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Here's what's on the bench today. We're looking at a Gibson Les Paul Melody Maker. It's in the TV yellow. I see two P90s here. I'm going to say, well, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to say it's a 2014. It's got a little scratchiness right there. I might be able to clean that off right there. I think that was from a stand that it was sitting on. I might be able to get that off there. But it definitely needs new strings. So let's go ahead and let's put new strings on this thing. Here we go. Okay, let's do this real quick. Let's plug it in. See if she makes noise. The knobs are different on these, so maybe we can find some that match this one to put on here, because these three here, they're all very tall. Doesn't look quite right. This has the, if I show you right here, the camera work is horrible today, 20th anniversary. So here we go. Gibson Les Paul Melody Maker. There's no binding on the neck. Got the wraparound tailpiece right here. The strings are old. I'm going to take all 6 strings off. Once I get them loose, I'm just going to cut them right off. The 120th, that's not 20th anniversary, that's 120th anniversary. There's one of them. Thanks. I honestly, yeah, don't do this. The over-under wrap. You don't need to do this. Some guys still think it's an old school way of doing it and it keeps them from slipping and all that. I disagree. And that's probably one reason why the strings haven't been changed on this thing in forever, because the guy did this to it. So this bridge, let me get these strings out of here. Yeah, so it's compensated because each string lays on here and it kind of keeps it intonated properly. I don't see any writing or anything. Oh, there is a little something in there. TPB, something right in there. You can see there's some something printed inside there. Lightweight, maybe aluminum. Don't know if that came stock with the guitar. We also have the, I believe that's aluminum on the strap buttons. So don't know for sure if that is stock or not. Let's get a little bit of dust off of here. Okay, and then now, without any string tension, short scale, this is my not straight edge. This is short scale right here, 24 3/4. Let's put our tool on here. And let's see if we've got relief in the neck. And yes, there is. Actually, it's got more of a back bow. There's no relief, but I can see space under here, so it's kind of in the downward position like this. It's going down, which is probably going to be really good once we get the string tension on it. It'll bring that back up. So let's do this. I'm going to show you guys what's going on here. I'm just going to flip the guitar around like this, and let's see if you guys can see that. There we go. So we're going to take this off of here, the truss rod cover, just to make sure that we are looking at a real Gibson product and not some sort of imported thing. So there's going to be a brass nut under here where the truss rod is. Truss rod has a brass nut on it, and it takes a Gibson tool that looks exactly like this, fits in there like that. Now I can see that right there that thing's, it's loose. It's in its center position. That's maybe not ideal to have it like that, but I'm going to snug that down a little bit. And it might have a little back bow on it. And I'm not sure if this is a dual action truss rod. So once we get the strings on it, we might have to do some more adjusting here and see what's going on there. Okay, so one thing that I did want to try to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of some dollar store furniture polish on a rag. Okay. I'm going to see if I can get this black mark off of here that I'm going to guess is probably from a stand. So let's just wipe on it for a while and see what happens. It's kind of working a little bit. I don't think that it's like burned in there. How sometimes some of those string hangers will burn it into the nitro. Because I don't think this is a nitro finish. But I could be wrong. Okay. Let me try something else here. I've got a little bit of lighter fluid. Let's try lighter fluid. Hey man, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing, brother?
Doing good. Okay, let me put a little bit of lighter fluid on here. And let's try it again with some lighter fluid and see what happens. Okay, well, most of it is off of there now, and so I'm going to go with it. That looks pretty good. I think we solved a little problem there. As far as that being real heavy. It's just a barely small little tiny thing now. So let's check out this. Alright, so we're looking at the neck now. Fret ends feel smooth. So I think we're okay there. I think I'm just going to shine on the frets a little bit. There we go. So, got my fretboard protector and a little 1000 grit sandpaper. And we're just going to polish on each frets a little bit like this. Yeah, and this just kind of doesn't, we're not trying to level, crown, do any of that. We're just polishing them right now. I would say this has jumbo frets on it, maybe medium jumbo. They seem pretty tall. And again, it is the 120th anniversary. 120th anniversary model. It's got a rounded top to it, so it's not completely flat. It does have the P90s. I hear a lot of guys are all just, oh my god, P90s. They're very popular right now, P90s. Oh yeah, guys, in Wednesday night, 2 nights ago, today's Friday, 2 nights ago I went and saw Jeff Tate. And they did Operation Mindcrime in its entirety. And I can just remember back in 87 and 88 and 89, all the bands that I was in, man, we all just wished we were Queensryche. Queensryche was so good back then. So I had a really fun show on Wednesday. Jeff had 3 guitar players on stage, and they had a girl that was on keyboards, and so they had tons of great background vocals, and all the harmony guitar solos were done really, really well. And they even had the rhythm guitar playing in the background when the harmony guitars were playing. So Jeff put on a great show. I highly recommend it if he comes to your town. Okay, so this was a little bit of this Music Nomad F1 oil. I put on every guitar that has a rosewood neck. You don't have to use that on maple. And I let that set in there for a little while. And then I take a paper towel. I got my back door open today. It's beautiful outside. I hear a truck out in the alley. You guys probably can't hear that. But then you take a paper towel and you wipe all the excess off of here. And I see absolutely no fret wear down here on the first couple of frets where all your cowboy chords are, all your open chords. I don't see any fret wear up here. So I think that this guitar didn't get played very often. Let me bring you guys in up here so I can show you our frets. And there's that inlay at the 12th fret. And then once you come up here, I see no fret wear. So a lot of times these guitars that I get, man, they've been played a lot, and you get a lot of little dents and divots on some of these frets. But these look really good. This guitar is in really good condition. All right, so I think we're ready, guys. Here we go. This thing's ready for strings. Roll the jingle. Today's string choice. Today's string choice, D'Addario NYXL 10 through 46. Yeah, so one way of testing your strings to see which gauge is a little bit heavier is if you just kind of hold them like this. The heavier string will stay more rigid, right? So let's see what we're talking about here. So the high E string will fall down. I don't know if you guys can see that, but yeah, it's another way of kind of doing it. And again, I'm loading this through the front of the bridge piece, or rather the tail piece. There we go. Slide this in here like this now. And then wrap this baby around. Now some of these tail pieces, they will kind of lock in, but this Gibson one doesn't do that. Some of the Epiphone Les Pauls, they'll just clip right in there, and they got little clips on the side, and they'll kind of lock into place, which is kind of convenient. There we go. The nut looks like a bone nut, and it's secure in there, and it looks like it's in good condition. And the tuners feel good. They've got this Clouson style, Clouson Deluxe. with the ivory buttons on there. Okay, let me throw a headstock tuner on this. A lot of times I just use the snark tuner. Although I recently got a Peterson that I had completely rebuilt. And I'm going to wire up my bench so that the cable comes from the guitar into the tuner, out of the tuner, into the amp. I'm eventually going to wire it up so it does that. I'm going to put it in standard tuning. Okay, and then to stretch the strings out a little bit, left hand is to make sure that you don't break the nut. And you just kind of tug on these babies. That makes sure that they're seated in the bridge nicely. And strings will kind of stretch out a lot. Gotta kind of be careful when you're tugging on these higher strings. Oh, there's my phone. Hold on, guys. Gotta get the phone. Okay, before I get too crazy on the tuning, I can see that our bridge post down on this side is down pretty much decked. And this side is up a little bit. So this screwdriver is what I usually use for that. And we can just run this up a little tiny bit. Let's see what happens there. There we go. And then I just kind of eyeball them to make sure that they're at the same height. And that's looking good right there. I think I'll lower this side just a little bit. There we go. And usually that works pretty good. Sometimes, though, you'll kind of scar the inside of these posts right here, which isn't great looking. But sometimes a wider one would be probably better. But, yeah. It's all about the tools. Sometimes a thinner one will scar the little slots in there. And I'm hearing some buzzing, and I don't know if... I think I gotta lower this pickup a little bit. So that just takes a Phillips screwdriver, and it goes right here in the top. So I'm gonna just snug this down a little bit. Feels like it was just kind of dangling around in there. There we go. That looks better. That doorbell is my front door. Okay, here's one more thing that I have to do real quick. And this is kind of important on Gibson stuff. I'm going to loosen my D string and the G string. And I have some of this Music Nomad Tune It Extra String. It's nut sauce, right? Or I'm thinking it might even be like petroleum jelly. I'm going to squeeze a little bit into this slot. Actually, that was a lot, way too much. But I'm going to put some of this down in here. And then this will help these strings travel through the nut. So I'm going to try to tighten it up and lay it down in a bed of this stuff. And this will keep your G string from going out of tune. There we go. Yeah, the snark's not the best for tuning this thing, but they work. Our low E string sounds a little buzzy, but like every restring that I do, after I get it kind of set up here, I always throw it up on my knee. It feels really good. All right, let's throw this straight edge back on it, and let's see what that string tension has done to the neck. And she's still got a lot of back bow. So I'm gonna, one more time, we're gonna loosen this truss rod. And I think this is going to be one of those guitars that has to just live, the truss rod just has to live in that area where there is basically no tension on it. Yeah, right in there. Which is unfortunate, but I don't believe this is a dual action truss rod. Gibson does stuff old traditional way, and I think this one was built that way with just a regular standard truss rod in it. And so if you've got back bow, you just got to kind of deal with it. Maybe a super heavy set of strings would help bring it back a little bit. Alright, there we go. And then I'm also going to let me take another paper towel that I have down here, and I'm going to wipe off some of that nut sauce that I smeared all over there. Get a little bit of that off of there now, because the string is actually laying down in a bed of that stuff. Okay, so let's play this thing for a while. Let me go up to the front desk and plug it into my amp. Here we go. Alright guys, so here I sit with this Melody Maker. I just put brand new strings on it. And I have to say, it turned out really nice. I was glad that I was able to get that smear off the side right here that was from the stand. Everything looks good about it. It's really nice condition. For a Les Paul, it's kind of thin, and it makes it lightweight. And it also, you know, like a lot of Melody Makers, they've got the skinny headstock. This has the little wings on each side. So P90s, you can hear You can hear the 60 cycle hum in them, especially in my noisy amp. Center position, some of that goes away. So if you care about all that hum going on, the P90s really aren't for you. You'd rather have the humbucker, right? I think it should stay in tune for you. Again, I've got a lot of that Music Nomad nut sauce on there to keep the nut nice and lubricated. And it's a nice guitar. I kind of like it. TV yellow, I believe, is the color. But they might have different colors for them now. But there you go, guys. Down at ZIMM'S Guitars. Thanks for watching. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks. Have a great day.